pharmacy called about your prescription.
Oh, yeah, I just switched. It's fine.
Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't want to worry you. I have cancer.
The message came in the afternoon, a simple question that would unravel everything. He messaged her asking why the pharmacy had just called him. They were asking about some unusual prescriptions he'd never heard of. Her reply was quick, almost too calm. She said the doctor had recommended a special treatment plan for her. It was nothing to worry about. But he did worry. He asked, what kind of treatment requires so much secrecy? And why were her appointments always late at night? She typed back, telling him he wouldn't understand, that he just needed to trust her. His fingers hovered over the screen. Trust weakens when explanations disappear, he replied. That's when her tone shifted. She accused him of being controlling, of not being supportive when she needed him most. He answered calmly, support doesn't mean blind acceptance. Then came the message that made his world tilt. She said the doctor told her that intimacy with someone else could actually improve her health. He stared at the screen, reading the words over and over, trying to make them make sense. He felt a cold knot form in his stomach. He had to ask, was she serious, or was this some kind of twisted test of his patience? Her response was chillingly detached. Medicine evolves, she wrote. You should do more research. He couldn't believe it. He typed back, common sense should evolve too. Now she was the one who was offended. She said he was judging her instead of caring about her well-being, but his care had its limits. Care doesn't require humiliation, he replied. She fired back, why are you making this about yourself? He felt a surge of frustration. Because marriage makes health decisions a shared responsibility, he answered, not a private secret. She insisted the doctor knew best, and then came the warning. All this stress he was causing could worsen her condition. It was a classic deflection. He asked a simple, logical question. Why has this doctor never spoken to me directly? She had a ready answer for that too. Privacy laws, she claimed, prevented the doctor from talking to him. But he knew better. He replied that privacy laws don't block honesty between spouses. She accused him of sabotaging her recovery. He shot back that lies sabotage a marriage much faster than any illness ever could. She then played the victim card, saying she felt misunderstood and completely exhausted by the whole conversation. He didn't soften. Exhaustion often follows deception, he answered. She then asked, incredulously, if he would really doubt her doctor over her. He replied that he wasn't doubting a doctor. He was doubting stories that seemed to change with every message she sent. She tried a new tactic, claiming the secret treatment was already helping her feel better. But he had eyes. He could see her. He asked why, if the treatment was working, did she look weaker and more drained every day, not stronger? She said healing takes time, that he was just being impatient. But this wasn't about patience. Patience doesn't include denial, he replied. After that message, she went completely silent. The hours stretched on, filled with a heavy, anxious quiet. He couldn't stand it anymore. He messaged again, simply asking if she was okay. The reply came much later, late into the night. It was short. She said she felt unwell and was at the clinic. His heart started to pound. Which clinic? He asked. I can come right now? But she shut him down immediately. Visits are restricted, she said. You should stay home. Fear, cold and sharp, began to rise in his chest. He begged for updates, anything. A while later, another short message lit up his screen. I've been admitted. That was it. Despite her protests, despite her telling him to stay away, he rushed to the hospital she had mentioned. When he finally found her room and walked in, the first thing he noticed was how she wouldn't look at him. She stared at the wall, at her hands, anywhere but his eyes. He stood by the bed and asked quietly what really happened. She mumbled something about complications, about an infection. He pressed further. Did the doctor explain the cause of the infection? She hesitated just for a second, but it was enough. She finally said it was just an unfortunate risk of the treatment. He took a deep breath, knowing the answer but needing to hear it from her. He asked her directly, was it transmitted? And that's when she finally broke. The carefully constructed wall of lies crumbled, and she broke down, the truth spilling out between gut-wrenching sobs. He just stood there silently as the full weight of reality settled over him. She begged him not to leave, her voice choked with tears. She said she was scared. He looked at her, his own emotions a hollow echo. Fear, he replied, was something you chose to ignore much earlier. She insisted she never meant to hurt him. He answered, intent doesn't cancel consequences. Through her tears, she asked if he hated her now. He shook his head slowly. Disappointment, he said, is so much heavier than anger. She pleaded for forgiveness, for another chance to make it right, but he had to be honest. Forgiveness and reconciliation, he told her, are not the same thing. She asked what he planned to do. His voice was steady, resolute. I'm going to protect myself first. Her tears turned to accusations. She accused him of abandoning her in her sickness, but he corrected her. Betrayal came long before the sickness, he said. She whispered that she felt so alone and ashamed. He replied softly, honesty could have prevented all of this. She looked up, her eyes wide with a new fear. Are you going to tell anyone? He looked away. The truth has a way of surfacing, regardless of what I do, he answered. She cried and asked him to just stay a little longer, not to leave her alone, and so he did. He stayed, sitting in the uncomfortable plastic chair, in complete silence until the visiting hours ended. Before he left, he stood up and told her that she needed to focus on her recovery. That was the most important thing now. She asked, her voice small, if he would come back tomorrow. He paused at the door. I think space is necessary for clarity right now, he said. She whispered that she understood, but the terror in her eyes told a different story. He walked out of the hospital feeling hollow, empty, but for the first time in weeks, also resolute. Later that night, his phone lit up. It was her, another message apologizing, repeating how sorry she was. He replied that apologies needed reflection, not just repetition. Her next message was desperate. Can our marriage survive this? He typed back the hard truth. Trust, once it's broken this badly, demands more than just words to be rebuilt. She promised she would do anything to fix it. He replied that some damage just can't be undone. She begged him not to file for separation, not yet. He told her that any major decisions would have to wait. They could only come after calm, clear thinking. She then thanked him for coming to the hospital earlier. He had to make the distinction clear. Compassion, he replied, does not equal acceptance. She sent one final message, a plea, I hope you won't just disappear.